All right, guys, we're sitting here with Alex from Cannibal Corpse. How you doing, man?
Great. Thanks for having me here today.
Yeah, very good, man. Now, the newest album, Evisceration Plague, has been deemed by your fans, all of the people who love you, as one of your greatest records that's put out for a long time. What makes you guys, the older you get, you keep getting better with each album, man? What is it that keeps driving you?
Well, first, thanks to anyone who thinks that. We definitely love to hear that, but I think we've just always been inspired to try and get better. It's just been part of the band the whole way along. Like, we always feel like, okay, this last record was good, but the next one's going to be better. I mean, we definitely already feel that way about the record that's out now. We're satisfied with it, but we also know that there's still things we can improve on. So, yeah, we've just never become complacent about it. We really have improvement as musicians and as songwriters. That's one of our primary goals. That has been the whole way along. So we just try and keep it going.
Okay. Well, you guys have definitely been around for a long time, man. How has the scene changed in a good way and a bad way since you guys have been around?
There's been so many changes, and almost all of them have something to do with technology. Okay. You could go on. I mean, you could write a long article about how technology has changed the music scene in general, and it definitely affected death metal, our subgenre of metal, quite a bit, because in the beginning, everything was very hard to find out about. You would have to hear a band, you would have to know of this band first of all somehow.
Right.
And it probably would have got that information from a fanzine.
Because there's no internet.
Yeah, there was no internet at all, and every fanzine would have reviews of demos, and then you would hear about the one that sounded good, that sounded like something you'd like. So then you order away for that, wait 3 weeks, and it shows up at your door, you get to hear it, and that's obviously a much longer process than, Googling a name and then there it is.
Being there.
Yep. Yeah. So there's just those kind of things. It's really it was a bit more I think you felt like you had really worked hard to hear a band when you finally did hear them back then. But I definitely think that being able to make music easily available to everyone is a positive change.
Okay.
Even though it might not have the same people get nostalgic for the old tape trading days,
Right.
But I think it's definitely good that people can get your music immediately. I mean, that's not a bad thing at all, that they can instantly get it. The downside of the technological change has already been discussed a lot, and that's, people, the downloading and that kind of thing, and the trouble that's caused the...
How do you feel about that, by the way?
I definitely had mixed feelings about it because, when I was young, I would, one of my friends would buy one album, I'd buy the other, and then we'd make cassette copies. People just did that. So this is just that on an extremely huge scale. I mean, back then, it'd be one guy copying one album. Now it's one album getting posted online and everybody copying it. So it's a bit different, and I have mixed feelings about it. I understand that money's tight, especially right now. So the impulse to get something for free, albeit in a dishonest way or in a legal way, I should say, is definitely there. But I understand about that. But there's no denying it's hurt the record industry.
Right.
I mean, sales are down for most bands. We've been beating the odds and actually increasing sales over the past few years, but I'm not sure why that is. Again, I'm no expert on the subject, but I definitely have mixed feelings about illegal download. It certainly got the music out there to people.
Right.
People that would never have bothered to spend money on an album now get to hear it, and then they might go to a show. Because it does seem like the live concert business, even despite the economic downturn, just at least based on this tour, is doing fantastic. So.
Well, you guys have got quite a loyal fan base anyway, man. I mean, so no matter what kind of festival you guys play or do, your fans are always going to show up. How important is it for Cannibal Corpse to interact with the fans out on the road?
For us, it's really important. On a tour like this where you've got, sometimes well over 10,000 people in attendance, the best way to do it is to do some sort of a signing. And we've been doing those daily at the Hot Topic tent. We sign from 3 in the afternoon till 4 in the afternoon. That's been working out great because it's the only really way that you're going to be able to meet a large chunk of the audience without it, being chaotic. You know, it's like an organized thing. We get a couple seconds with each person, get to shake hands and say thank you, you know, for supporting the band and whatnot. That's something that's important to us, and the only way to do it out here successfully really is to do the signing. Now, when we do our own tours, where it's just, you know, a few hundred people at the show, we'll just, you know, hang around out in front of our bus after the end of the show, and just people will be around hanging out, and we get a chance to talk to everybody. So,
okay,
you know, it's just easier that way. Like if there's 500 people at the show, you talk to 50 or 100 of them, you talk to 10 or 20% of the audience that night. You can get a really good connection with everyone and hear what they liked about the show, what they might not necessarily have liked about it, or what songs they wanted to hear and whatnot. We just really like to do that sort of thing. You know.
Okay. All right, well, let's talk about Cannibal Corpse, the movie, man. That would be a great zombie film, don't you think? And you guys could have the soundtrack to the whole movie. What would you think about Cannibal Corpse, the zombie movie?
Oh yeah, we'd love to do something like that. You know, a few people have approached us, you know, talked about maybe doing something like that, but it never ends up. You know, so far, nothing has come together. But, yeah, we would be definitely interested in talking to someone about that idea because, you know, that was the name of the band, you know, is more or less like a, you know, it's like, yeah, George Romero zombie kind of concept, you know. So it's, yeah, we'd love to have, even if it's not a whole movie about us, to even just have a song on a horror movie would be great.
Okay, well, you guys, your band is a band, like we just said, that you sing a lot of, like, has a lot of violent lyrics, a lot of horror film themed lyrics. But we were talking earlier about how that can also be a positive thing. What's some positive things that you've seen from your fans over the years that they've gotten out of Cannibal Corpse's music?
Well, I think it's just everybody's really happy after the show. You know, like, we're happy, and everybody slammed and enjoyed the music, and they're happy. And, I mean, just that's one of the first things that comes to mind is everybody's pretty psyched after the show, and, you know, generally, except for the occasional, you know, like minor injury in the pit or something like that, everybody is unscathed. You know, it's just a really positive experience for everyone. At least it seems like it. You know, they all, after the show, they're like, dude, that was amazing, and, you know, can't wait to see you guys again. And, you know, it makes us feel good because we know every night, you know, that we played, there's that audience has probably gotten something good out of it. And it's nothing, you know, really profound or anything. It's just the enjoyment of music, you know. It's an awesome thing. I love music so much, so if people love music that we've made, if a fan feels the same way about our music that I felt about, you know, like Iron Maiden or Slayer's music when I was younger, then that's awesome, you know. Okay. That's something positive for sure, because it was positive for me. Right. You know. Okay.
Well, on that note, does God have a place in heavy metal?
I mean, that's a very personal thing. You know, I personally am not a religious person at all. You know, so it's up to each individual person. I mean, what they want to believe in is their business. But I don't think that. I mean, there's no limits on what you want to sing about. If your band is interested in singing about that, that's fine. If your band wants to sing about Satan, that's fine too. You know what I mean? I think that you know, for me, I'm not, you know, a believer in any of it. So it's like, you know, it's not something that I'm particularly, you know, interested in hearing. You know, if a band's singing about God, I'm not going to be interested in those lyrics. Okay. You know.
Okay. Fair enough. Cool. All right, now we talked about the imagery of the lyrics, and you guys have always been known for your like album covers, the great album covers that you have. How does that play into the lives? Do you guys? Is it important that you have some kind of a stage show when you're doing these type of tours to match the theme of the lyrics?
You know, we don't bother with the stage show, actually. All we do is we have a banner hanging, and we just go for it. Yeah, we're just up there playing.
Cool. All right, man. Well, hey, thank you so much for this interview. Really, and, you know, anything you want to say to your fans, man?
Just thank you very much for the support, and see you on tour.
Sweet. We're out.